Oh my goodness. Yo. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. Oh, thank you. Well, you all warm my heart. Thank you so much. And good evening, everyone. Mrs. Obama, Senator Murray, Congressman Rowe, caregivers, friends, welcome to this very special night. Ladies and gentlemen, we in this room are in the business of providing hope. That is the mission each of you is supporting by joining us tonight. We provide hope to millions of Americans who set aside their lives, both the lives they knew and the lives they had always imagined for themselves, to care for a loved one who pledged to defend our freedom and protect our nation. The need for our work is critical. The need for our work is urgent because a profound loss of hope can destroy lives as cruelly as any disaster or epidemic. A wise friend of our foundation, Dr. Kevin Vigilante, Chief Medical Officer at Booz Allen Hamilton, recently described how the quiet devastation of losing hope affects those who are suddenly forced to care for a loved one. The impact on families and caregivers, he said, goes deeper than studies and statistics can reveal. It is in many ways about dreams. We all have dreams about the future for ourselves and our loved ones. And in many ways, our dreams and aspirations define who we are. They give us direction and purpose. But what happens when those dreams are suddenly taken from us and we face an unexpected life of back-breaking work, sleepless nights, heartache, worry, and loneliness that stretches out as far as the mind's eye can see for decades? What does that do to one's soul? That loss of what could have been but will never be. As stark as the doctor's words are, they come with a vital saving grace. Even in the darkest of times, the soul can be repaired and faith can be renewed. However, our nation will never solve the caregiver crisis or any national challenge if we don't also restore the hope we have in ourselves and in one another. I think we can all agree that cynicism has a grip on our nation. In the face of every societal problem, we hear the same bitterness and doubt. These people will never work with those people. There's such divisiveness. Our nation is stalemated and nothing gets done. Everyone just stays at home and tweets about problems. Nobody is trying to solve them. Well, to those who have resigned themselves to such pessimism, I'd invite them to look around the room tonight. We are not divided. We are united. We're united. Our foundation put out a call for help, and both these people and those responded. They responded without regard for the artificial barriers that too often stand in the way of solutions. And while my social media team would love nothing more than for me to ask you to pull out your phones and tweet about tonight, and we hope you do, let's take a moment to celebrate the fact that we are all here in person, honoring our nation's heroes, paying tribute to our history makers, and taking on a challenge that is bigger than all of us, a challenge that we are resolved to overcome. And if you need any motivation, allow me to introduce the people who inspire me each and every day. Will everyone in the audience tonight who cares for a service member or veteran please stand and remain standing? Ladies and gentlemen, Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, yes. These are your hidden heroes. These are your hidden heroes. Now, take note of where these caregivers are located, because in addition to enjoying what I promise will be a powerful and uplifting program here on stage, I encourage you to take a moment to talk to the military caregivers among you. Listen to their stories, ask them questions, discover what you can do to provide them the support they need and deserve. Opening our hearts to others, overcoming superficial differences that divide us. This has always been how our nation has solved its biggest challenges. With the help of everyone in this room, and it's going to take us all, we can ensure our coalition only grows bigger, that our nation's appreciation for military caregivers only grows deeper, and together we can restore our caregivers' hope, renew their faith, and once again, make it possible for them to dream. Thank you so very much. Thank you. And now I'm so pleased to introduce our Hidden Heroes Campaign Chair, Tom Hanks. Yes. I've introduced Tom on a number of occasions, but tonight, just knowing a percentage about what he's had to do to make it here, the schedules that had to be rearranged, the logistical puzzles that had to be solved, Tom hiring a fast jet. I can scarcely put into words how grateful I am that he's made it. He's made it. I've told the story many times of my first meeting with Tom to talk about military caregivers and how he didn't even wait for me to finish my pitch before he said, "Senator, I'm all in. I'm in it for the long haul. You just tell me what to do and I'll do it." Well, I always knew Tom was the most trusted man in Hollywood, but I had no idea just how true to his word he would be. Tom was making an ironclad promise that he has never failed to keep. Since accepting my invitation to chair the Hidden Heroes campaign, Tom has responded to every request, taken every phone call, and posed for every selfie. He has flown all over the country, spoken on stages, from the U.S. Capitol building to the racetrack at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and even joined Savannah to co-host an hour of Today, all for the benefit of military caregivers. Yes. And speaking of Indianapolis, Tom joined us there for 3 days of caregiver events. On the evening of the second day, we had a big barbecue for caregivers and their families at the Indianapolis Children's Museum. Tom had been with us all day, delivering speeches, posing for photos, and doing interviews. And the next morning, he had to get up at a very unforgiving hour, in the dark, in the pouring rain, to host the Today Show with Savannah. Well, this barbecue was exactly the type of event that most people in his situation would have dropped into, a quick hello, and then retired to their hotel room. Yet there was Tom, grabbing a couple hot dogs and a bag of chips and asking a table of caregivers and their wounded veterans if he could sit with them. He laughed, he listened, he shared, he FaceTimed with homebound veterans, and he lit up the world for some very lucky caregiver kids. When it comes to military caregivers, Tom is tireless, he is passionate, he is personally invested, and in his words, he is all in. Fred Rogers, who Tom fittingly portrays in a film coming out next month, once said, "At the center of the universe is a loving heart that continues to beat and that wants the best for every person." Tom, In the universe of America's millions of military caregivers, you are the loving heart at the center that continues to beat. You are the one who wants the best for every person. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a very warm welcome to my friend, Tom Hanks.